Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're going to be looking at the Charlotte, North Carolina regional real estate market, specifically for October 2024. And as always, we're going straight to the source, no opinions here, just the raw data. We'll be taking a look at the Canopy Realtor Association's November 21st press release. They run Canopy MLS, which is the main source of real estate data for the area.
So let's jump right in. We'll start by looking at the Charlotte region as a whole. That includes 16 counties in both North Carolina and South Carolina. In October 2024, 3,352 homes were sold. That's up 1.7% year over year, and up 4.4% from last month.
So that covers the sales side. What about buyers?
Pending sales came in at 3,722 in October. That's a pretty significant jump. We're looking at a 23.6% increase year over year and a 4.8% increase month over month.
Okay, so we've got sales and pending sales. What about the number of homes on the market?
Right, so new listings totaled 4,481 for October. That's a 7.2% increase from last year. But interestingly, new listings were actually down 4.4% compared to September. Total inventory was 9,289 active listings for October. That's a 33.6% increase year over year. That leaves us with a 2.7-month supply of inventory.
All right, so now we've covered those basic metrics. Let's talk about the prices.
Okay, so the median sales price for October 2024 was $395,000. That's up 3.9% from last year. The average sales price was $492,068, which is a 5.7% increase year over year. And the average list price was $510,373, a 4.9% increase compared to October 2023.
And if you look at days on market, which includes both active and pending listings, that number averaged 41 days in October. That's a big jump, a 28.1% increase from last October.
Interesting. So that gives us a good overview of the entire Charlotte region. Now let's zero in on Mecklenburg County, where Charlotte is located. All right, so in Mecklenburg County, there are over 1,200 homes sold in October. That's a 4.7% increase year over year and a 3.9% increase compared to September.
And pending sales.
Pending sales hit 1,327 homes in October. That's up 20.3% year over year and 7.1% from September.
So it seems like Mecklenburg County is following those regional trends. What about the homes available there?
Mecklenburg County had 1,522 new listings come on the market in October, up 2.4% from a year ago. Total inventory reached 2,870 active listings for the month, which is a 37.3% jump from last year. So we're looking at a 2.3-month supply in the county.
All right, and how do those prices look in Mecklenburg County?
Well, the median sales price there was $446,000 for October. That's a 2.6% increase year over year. The average sales price hit $589,929, up 3.7% from October 2023. And the average list price was $617,641. So that's a 5.3% increase compared to last year.
Prices seem to be climbing in Mecklenburg County as well. Okay, let's finish up this part of our deep dive by taking a look at the city of Charlotte itself. What were the sales like there?
Within the city limits, 963 homes were sold in October. That's a year-over-year increase of 4.3%.
And what about pending sales in Charlotte?
Unfortunately, the report didn't specify an exact number, but they did mention a 22.9% year-over-year increase.
Okay, so still strong buyer demand, it seems. What about new listings in the city?
2,244 new listings came on the market in Charlotte during October, just a slight 1.6% increase year over year.
And how about total inventory?
Charlotte had 2,329 active listings in October. That's a 33.6% increase compared to October 2023. So the month's supply of inventory in the city is 2.3.
Okay, so we've got those basic numbers. Now let's talk about prices in Charlotte.
The median sales price in the city came in at $420,500 for October. That's up 1.2% from last year.
And the average sales price
was $557,061, which is a 4% increase compared to October 2023. Average list price for homes in Charlotte was $584,722, up 3.4% from a year ago.
Okay, great. So now we have a pretty good idea of the pricing trends. How about the time it takes to sell a home in Charlotte?
Well, in October, homes in Charlotte averaged 34 days on market until sale. That's a pretty big jump, a 25.9% increase from last October.
Wow. Well, we've covered a ton of information today, looking at the Charlotte region, Mecklenburg County, and the city of Charlotte. I think we've given our listeners a really solid grasp of the numbers driving the Charlotte real estate market in October 2024.
Okay, so we've covered all those regional numbers, but the report also dives into some specific segments. For example, if you look at housing types, townhomes and condos saw big increases in inventory in October. Townhome inventory went up by 46%. And condo inventory actually jumped by 83%.
Wow, that's pretty interesting. So are there any particular towns in the region that stand out based on the data?
Yeah, so the report highlighted Matthews, Fort Mill, Waxhaw, and Kannapolis as places with strong buyer interest. They based that on showing activity.
And they also mentioned price reductions, didn't they?
Right. Price reductions across the whole Charlotte region were up almost 42% in October 2024, compared to October 2023.
Okay, so we've covered regional trends and looked at some specifics. Now let's shift gears a bit and focus on those month-over-month changes, starting with the Charlotte region overall.
Sure. So for the whole region, closed sales increased by 4.4% from September to October, and pending sales also saw a month-over-month increase of 4.8%. New listings actually went down, though, by 4.4% from September to October.
All right, so a bit of a mixed bag there. What about those prices?
The median sales price for the whole Charlotte region went up by 0.7% from September to October, and the average sales price was also up slightly month-over-month by 0.8%.
So generally a positive trend for prices. What about Mecklenburg County?
Okay, so in Mecklenburg County, closed sales went up 3.9% from September to October, and pending sales increased by 7.1% month-over-month. New listings actually dipped a little, down 0.5% from September to October.
Got it. And how did prices look in Mecklenburg County on a month-over-month basis?
The median sales price there increased by 1.2% from September to October. Average sales price also went up, rising by 1.6% month-over-month.
Okay, so let's wrap up this part of the deep dive by looking at those month-over-month changes. Within the city of Charlotte itself, first up, what did we see for closed and pending sales in October compared to September?
Closed sales in Charlotte went up 3.5% from September to October. And while we don't have a specific number for pending sales, the report did say there was a month-over-month increase of 4.9%.
Okay, what about new listings in Charlotte?
Those actually decreased by 2.5% from September to October.
Interesting. And finally, what were those month-over-month price changes in Charlotte?
The median sales price in Charlotte went up by 1.3% from September to October, and the average sales price also rose slightly by 1.1% month-over-month.
Well, we have definitely covered a lot of ground here. Looking at all that data, it's really amazing how much information we get from just 1 month's worth of real estate data.
Yeah, it's true. These numbers give us a really good snapshot of what's happening in the market. You know, the supply and demand, pricing trends, the overall activity.
Right, and even though we've just been looking at the raw data, I think it's pretty clear that the Charlotte real estate market is still very active.
Absolutely. And I think it's important to point out that there are differences between the region as a whole, Mecklenburg County, and the city of Charlotte itself.
Right, each area has its own unique factors.
Yeah.
So for someone who's thinking about buying or selling in the Charlotte area, what's the big takeaway from all this data?
I think the main thing to remember is that real estate is local. Those regional trends we talked about are just a starting point. To really understand the market, you need to look at specific neighborhoods. Think about things like property type, school districts, even how close you are to amenities.
That's a really important point. And it's also good to keep in mind that data is just one piece of the puzzle. Talking to local real estate agents, going to open houses, actually getting a feel for the neighborhoods, that's all really important too.
Definitely. Data gives you that framework.
Yeah.
But it's the human element that really helps you see the whole picture.
I think that's a great way to put it, and I think we've done a good job today of giving our listeners a solid understanding of the Charlotte real estate market as of October 2024.
I agree. We've gone through the numbers, highlighted the key trends, and I think most importantly, we've stressed the importance of that local perspective.
So as always, we encourage you to keep exploring, stay curious, and keep diving deep into the data that shapes the world around us. Until next time, happy dive.